A few minutes to talk about the paper on PMI that's going to be due in the near future here as part of Production Operations Management 335. Paper is assigned during week 14, due 2 weeks later, so there's a little bit of gap there. Excuse me. Project Management Institute. I'm not as concerned so much about the organization itself as the methodology that they discuss in a book called the PMBOK, the Project Management Body of Knowledge. And that is only important really because it is used throughout project management as an industry. People use that concept and that methodology. So understanding that methodology, at least from a fundamental level, should help you if you're ever involved in a project, if they're using that sort of methodology. And because of how common it is, there's a chance you'll run across it. So there's hopefully a benefit to that. Paper should be about 4 pages. Double spaced, 4 pages of about content. It could be 3.5 or so. You probably get it done in that. First section, and you should set up your paper in this order. Talk to me about the history of PMI, or what they are, what they do, how many members they have. These sorts of stats you could include there pretty easily. Stuff like where they're out of, how many members, how many countries, those types of things. History of PMI, how they developed, what they do. Talk to me about what PMI as an organization is. That'll be your first section. It should be about a page. Description of the PMBOK process. This will be a little bit larger page, and the PMBOK process groups are described at the end where I say what they are. Those process groups, tell me about what happens during those process groups, a little bit of the structure of them, whether they're cyclical or in order, that type of stuff. Talk about those process groups, what happens in each, what each group is, etc. That's going to be the longest section. And then last, the advantages and applicability of PMI PMBOK. Here you're going to talk maybe about the certifications and what it can do for your career. You can talk about that it promotes a common language and methodology, so it allows for people to take projects on in a more efficient fashion because you don't have to set those benchmarks. You're going to talk about how many organizations maybe use it. You're going to talk about how those types of things. That section doesn't have to be terribly long. 3/4 of a page or so is fine. And those are going to be your biggest sections for points-wise. And this is the rubric that I'm going to use to grade right off of. So setting your paper up in in order of those 3 sections is going to be beneficial for you and me. Timeliness, I give a tiny bit of cushion for the first day or so, but after that, it's zeroed out. Writing mechanics, just make sure it's done well. Again, a note on please do not plagiarize. Use some academic integrity. I'm not going to grade harshly, so it's not. You don't have to try to find a perfect answer that somebody else has. Don't do that. It's the only part of doing this adjunct work that I don't like, is when I have to deal with that sort of scenario. So please don't plagiarism. Questions, concerns, reach out to me. Anything, I believe it should be pretty self-explanatory. Again, assigned on April 11th through the 24th. Thanks a lot. Best of luck. You all have a good one.